Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are at it again, dropping even more bombshells about their relationship and decision to step down from the royal family. Netflix just dropped the first half of a two-part documentary called Harry and Meghan today, with the final 3 episodes of the 6-part docuseries dropping on December 15th. The very first episode begins with an attack on Buckingham Palace's decision not to cooperate with the series, which declares a fresh war on the family and the media. Throughout the series so far, we have had tears from Meghan, of course, and Harry repeatedly comparing her to Princess Diana, claiming both his mother and wife were hunted by the press. Nothing new there. There's also a series of jabs towards Harry's father, King Charles III, as well as his brother Prince William. They spoke once again about alleged racism and unconscious bias in the royal family, which we've heard about time and time again at this point. It seems to me that every interview or documentary they will put out is just going to be more of the same. I mean, they're no longer a part of the royal family world, so they have nothing new to say about it. While the documentary does repeat a lot of things they've discussed before, we do get some new digs from Meghan. In the beginning of the series, Meghan talks about her awkward first meeting of the Queen and what it was like for her to be integrated into the royal family. Meghan met the late Queen for the first time during a lunch at the Royal Lodge shortly after revealing the news that she and Harry were dating in 2016. Meghan described the whole occasion as feeling like an antiquated banquet at medieval times, which is a family dinner theater in the US featuring staged medieval-style games, sword fighting, and jousting. The couple talked about how they didn't know the Queen would be at the lunch until moments before, with Meghan claiming she thought the act of curtsying was a joke and not something you actually did. I find that a little hard to believe, but like she's claimed before, she didn't know a thing about the family before joining. During the second episode, Meghan talks a lot about the formality of the royals behind closed doors, saying she was surprised by this. She said, quote, "I was a hugger. Always being a hugger, I didn't realize that this is really jarring for a lot of Brits." Then she added, "I guess I started to understand very quickly that the formality on the outside carried through on the inside." Every time I hear about how underprepared Meghan was for all of these royal engagements, I'm like, where the heck was Harry? Like, he really didn't think to maybe give his apparently completely oblivious girlfriend a few pointers before attending? Anyway, Meghan was surprised that the formality in the family doesn't go away behind closed doors. Then the Duchess admitted that joining the actual royal family was nothing like the 2001 film The Princess Diaries starring Anne Hathaway. There's no class with some person who goes sit like this, cross your legs like this, use this fork, don't do this, curtsy then, wear this kind of hat. It doesn't happen, Meghan shared. Basically, she needed to learn a lot, including the national anthem. Well, again, I'm not sure what she was expecting, and I really can't imagine the family expected her to know everything right away. Meghan also touched on her first Christmas at Sandringham, describing it as amazing due to the fact that she was with a big family like she'd always wanted. Meghan talked about there being constant movement, energy, and fun at that first dinner. Harry added that the royal family seemed incredibly impressed with Meghan during the early days of their relationship. That being said, he also shared that his family thought that the relationship with the former actor would never last. So maybe the family was all good until they discovered she was becoming a permanent member. Harry recalled the family first meeting Meghan, saying they were surprised that the ginger could land such a beautiful woman. He went on to say, but the fact I was dating an American actress was probably what clouded their judgment more than anything else in the beginning. Meghan blamed the way the UK views Hollywood and being typecast by them. In the third episode, Meghan talked about, shocker, not knowing what a royal walkabout was. It's literally just where royals meet with members of the public who've gathered on the streets. Then they remembered their first walkabout and how Meghan's dress broke and they had to safety pin it, and it was all just so silly and ridiculous. Harry said everybody was just so excited and pleased and happy, and I think people looked at it and went, wow, what a breath of fresh air. Did they, Harry? They also included Meghan's mother, Doria Ragland. She said the last 5 years have been tough, but she's ready to share a little bit of her experience as Meghan's mom. She really didn't spill anything too crazy. Doria discussed her finding out about Meghan and Harry dating and her being excited for Meghan. She also mentioned that as a kid, Meghan was very mature and empathetic, seeing Doria as more of a controlling older sister than a mother. Lastly, Doria talked about how paparazzi would take pictures of deprived neighborhoods in LA like Skid Row, claiming that's where Meghan grew up. I'm not sure why her mother chose to share what she did, but it really didn't add much. Basically, the first 3 episodes just went over how Meghan and Harry met, how Meghan knew nothing about being a royal, and how no one thought they would last. It's like the Oprah interview all over again, except longer, and we've already heard it all before. That being said, I'm tuning in and I will be watching part 2. I personally think the initial hype and fascination speculation over Harry and Meghan versus the royal family is long gone, and this may be the last thing they put out about the family that really gets some traction. This topic can only be talked about for so long, so I'm curious to see what happens after they've shared it all. Are you going to be watching Harry and Meghan, or are you over it? Let me know all of your thoughts on the first half of the documentary in the comments below. I have been your host, Maddie, and I will catch you later.